It's been about a year since Klongeeker, I think I said that name right, sent me the phone mount that I use on this motorcycle. And so it was time to talk about it and give y'all kind of the 1 year review and my thoughts on it. And I figured, why not also talk about some of the other options out there and what my thoughts are on those as well, based on the experience that I've had having a phone on a motorcycle for over 100,000 miles. Well, what's up? I'm Jim. Welcome back to J Street Moto. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. So yeah, Klongeeker sent me this phone mount a little over a year ago. I've been running it. David also bought one, as well as Kim. So there's 3 of them that I know of that are being run around me that I see. In general, the phone mount's pretty solid. It honestly is. It's a pretty solid phone mount. It does have anti-vibration in it, so that means the phone moves a little more than it did in the last mount that I had, which did not have any kind of anti-vibration in it. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but anti-vibration, your phone is going to move a little bit. If it doesn't have the vibration stuff in it, your phone is going to be solid to the bike. It's going to be mounted, hard mounted to it without any kind of vibration at all, any kind of movement at all. And this one's good. I would rate it about, I'd say I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. And the real reason for that low a score, honestly, is there's a clip back here that you push down to lock this wheel so that it doesn't back out. That clip has a tiny set screw in it that's a tiny, tiny Allen head. That set screw backs out over time. Even when you have it latched in, it backs out over time. So it's something that you have to consciously make sure you have access to that size Allen wrench, and periodically you have to retighten that. That's the only reason that I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, because you can't just mount it, use it, and forget it. You have to constantly go back and check things. You also have to check the screws that hold the grippers on the side, as Kim found out because she lost one of hers. The screw came out and the arm came off. I don't like that. I'd rather know that once it's together, it's together. It's not going to vibrate apart, and we're good to go. Now, but it is, on the budget side of the house, it's one of the more budget-friendly ones. I want to say it's like $30. I personally like the kinds of phone mounts that have the grips on the side and something at the bottom. So when you slide it into those grips, there's a hard piece at the bottom that holds it, like this one has, and then you tighten the fingers in on the side to hold the phone. That's my favorite kind of mount for a phone, bar none. There is nothing that can break in that scenario. There's nothing, I don't need a special case that might mess with other things that I'd like to do with the phone, like charge it wirelessly. There's nothing that can fail associated with the case on the phone. It's being grabbed and it's being held on your bike. The one I had before this was a Ciro, and I really loved that mount. I honestly did. I'd probably still be running it on the bike, quite honestly, had I not forgotten to take it off when I traded in the Road King. I would have transferred it right to this motorcycle and been like, all right, we're good. I didn't, because I traded in the bike and forgot to take it off, because I'm a dumbass. But there was a time that I wasn't even thinking about putting a phone mount on my bike, because I was just gonna plug it in and toss it down into the glove box and be like, hey, fuck it, I don't need one, right? But when Klongeeker reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to demo this product and do a little review for them, I decided to add one to the bike. But I still prefer the Ciro to this one. The Ciro, I would give it, now I did not use the wireless charging Ciro. They make 2 kinds. They make one that just grabs it, and you still have to plug your phone in to charge it. They make another one that you wire to your bike, and it's got a wireless charging pad in the back of it, and you put your phone in, same kind of grip, put your phone in, grip it down, and the phone's charging while it's in there. As long as that holder has As long as the holder has power going to it, the phone's going to charge. I can't talk about that one, but the one that doesn't charge your phone, that one I would rate it about a 9, 8.75 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Let's just call it 9 out of 10. And the reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10, number one is I don't believe anyone's perfect, but number two, that one does have the way that the balls connect in it to mount it to your, it can get a little complicated figuring out how you want to do it to put the phone where you want it on your bike. It's not as intuitive as some others are, is the way that I will say it. Otherwise, it'd be a 10 out of 10. Now let's talk about some of the ones I've had exposure to, but not necessarily used myself. Quadlock. What's up, dog? Quadlock makes a good phone mount. They honestly do. It's a great idea. My problems with the Quadlock are, and they're really few and far between, but my big problem with the Quadlock is it requires you to have a certain kind of case so that you can screw it onto it and lock it onto your bike. For most people, that might not be an issue. For me, it was, especially back when I was looking at them originally. It interfered with things. I don't like my phone to be real bulky when it's in my pocket, and it made my phone feel too bulky. I also wonder how strong that case is should the phone take a direct hit from something while you are riding down the road. Now, before you say, well, what in the hell could hit your phone and try to knock it off the bike? Let me tell you something. When I had my Road King, I didn't have a windshield on the front of it for a long period of time. I had my phone mounted on the handlebars, and I took a strike from a Buzzard, a full-grown Buzzard, at 80 miles an hour. It hit my handlebar, hit my phone, hit me in the chest, and landed in my damn lap. It hit the phone hard enough to move that Ciro case, but the phone stayed in the holder. If that had been a Quadlock, I suspect the case would have broken. That's what I suspect, is that the case would have broken and the phone would have come off the motorcycle. Don't have any proof, and if you guys are using Quadlocks, let me know. Have you taken a strike from something that big, that heavy, at that speed, at that velocity, and it stayed on your bike? The case stayed steady. Let me know. I'd love to know. If it is, I might change out for a Quadlock the next one. Let's move on to the next kind of, because really there's several. You've got the kind that hold your phone. You've got the kind that, you know, that lock your phone on the bike, like the Quadlock. I will, real quick, take a sidebar. One has a Harley version of this kind of thing. It does not have the tab at the bottom. So when you slide it in, you kind of have to hold it there as you tighten it down. I'm not a big fan of that because vibrations will make these screw things that hold it together kind of back out, and I'd hate for it to back out and slide down. I just feel like having something at the bottom holds it in better. Not a fan of the ones that have the rubber bands that come over the top, by the way. I would never even attempt to use one on my bike because I know that's not going to survive the Buzzard strike. That's kind of my litmus test. Now, let's talk about the last one that I got exposure to, and that's the ones where you glue a magnet to the back of your case, and then you've got a magnet that you attach to your bike, and you put the phone on there, and the magnet is strong enough to hold the phone on the bike. Great idea. It's quick, it's easy. Will it survive a Buzzard strike? Highly doubtful. Your phone's going to go flying. But the bigger problem with that one is this. Juan and David both had it, and they both had failures two different ways. David's, we were riding through the desert, California 1, and it got hot enough that the heat overcame the adhesive on the magnet that was attached to his case. And the phone went flying off his bike with nothing hitting it, flying off his bike at like 80 miles an hour one day. We pulled over, we picked it up, the phone was still good, still worked. David quickly got rid of that mount and bought one of the Ciro ones that grips it from the side. Juan had a similar mount, and the first time he went to California on it, he was reaching up, he hit his phone by accident, and we honestly think that he did not have the magnets perfectly aligned so that they weren't necessarily the strongest reach or the strongest grip on the phone. But in any case, he hit his phone with his hand, it overcame that magnet, and the phone flew off the bike. Again, we found the phone and it had survived, etc. You know, it happens. It's happened a couple of times to Juan where he's hit his phone with his hand and had it pop out of the holder. So, yeah. Keep those things in mind. I personally, are they bulky looking? Yes, they are. If you want to have your phone set up on your bike and you want something to look streamlined, okay, cool. Get one of the others. Get a Quadlock, get a magnet, get one of those things, because you won't have anything that's like gripping the side of your phone. It'll look all smooth and aesthetically pleasing. Know that it's not going to keep your phone on the bike. At some point, your phone's going to go flying. That's your choice, though. I'm not going to sit here and lecture you on it. You do you. But that's my thoughts on it. I would recommend the Klongeeker. It's a good phone mount. It has lived up to what I wanted it to do. It's adjustable enough to fit pretty much any phone you want in it. You're not going to put an iPad up there, but it works very well. So maybe consider buying one of those if you're in the market for one. I still, to this day, I will always, someone asks me what phone mount they should get, I'm always going to recommend getting the Ciro. And I don't get any money for it. I'm not an affiliate marketer with them. I get nothing for making that recommendation. It honestly is my opinion of the best option that's available on the market is that phone holder. This one, though, does all the same stuff that one does. It's just not as pretty at doing it. And it's a little more finicky about how much stuff on it is. With adjustability comes problems with needing to keep things tight. And this one's very adjustable, so there's stuff in it that has to constantly be checked to make sure you're not going to lose a part and potentially lose your phone. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you guys for watching. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, click the notification bell, share it with your friends. All that stuff's absolutely free to you, and it does help the channel. No matter what you do, I hope you're getting out there and riding and putting some miles down before the weather changes too much in your area, and maybe you can't ride until next spring. Check on your buddies, look in on them, and always ride safe.